I think I can go ahead and answer it without having any reservations whatsoever. Um, I get this question every time people find out I smoke cigars. I get this same exact question, and y'all probably know what that question is. What's your favorite cigar? So I'm gonna say it without any reservations, so I can clear this up right now. And I don't have to answer the question again. If the world told me today they only have one cigar that I can smoke again at a reasonably low cost, I think it comes in, it's some different it's categories. But we're gonna say, what's your everyday favorite cigar to smoke? I would say unequivocally, without a doubt, the Tabernacle. I've been smoking the same cigar for so long. It's it's like a normal reoccurrence now. And I mean, as far as what I like about the Tabernacle, to be honest with you, by Foundation Company. And I know a lot of you guys aren't smokers. Some people are, some people aren't. But it's made by Foundation Company by Nick Melillo, and it is comprised mostly of the thing that most people love right now, which is Connecticut broadleaf. It's Nicaraguan and some other tobaccos in there. I don't even know what the specs are anymore. I used to know it off the top of my head, but it just got so good, and I really don't even care what's inside of it because it's just that good. But what I like about it the most is the reasonable price point is number one. I most of the time can find them for anywhere between $11 to $13, depending on the Vitola that I choose. Um, it's a nice medium plus body cigar. It's excuse me. It's a stronger cigar. I would say as far as medium plus. I wouldn't say it's the strongest cigar by any means. I wouldn't say it's not approachable for someone who's been smoking cigars for a while. But it's so balanced as it's rich as well. Like at the same time, so I think it's a very balanced medium body cigar. I love the band. Really makes me happy to see this band with Holly Selassie on it. It's really dope. I think Nick has did a really good job with integrating a lot of different things in his cigars, which he has a very positive story behind a lot of his stuff. And I love his roots and where he's taking this cigar brand as far as it's always something that's uh, educational when it comes to him. And I always end up learning a lot more about something that I didn't expect to learn from his cigars. So I definitely commend him on that. But yeah, the Tabernacle. I mean, price point is great. Cigar is a great smoke, medium plus body cigar. I can smoke it at any given time. I can always find them. They're never out of stock, and that's been like some of the biggest things when it comes to cigar smoking is, sometimes you'll find a cigar and you never can get your hands on it, but without a fail, I can always find Tabernacles. It's like the production is always there. I don't know if enough people just don't smoke them, or if just their Nick's stock is just like that. But I can always find Tabernacles, which makes me extremely excited. And not to knock John, because I love John Drew as well. I love Drew Estate as well. That's like one of my other brands that I really live and die by. So I would say Foundation Company and Drew Estate are hand in hand when it comes to me because I love both of them very much equally. However, when I'm looking for different cigars from Drew Estate, especially the Legal Privada lineup, I'm looking for the number nines mostly. It's always like an influx. Like as soon as they get a box or two at a shop or something like that, they're always going like that. And if you don't get in early enough, you're not going to be able to get that cigar. Well, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I try to stay. I really try to stay away from the question a lot of times because I don't want to be overly biased to what's my favorite because I mean I have a lot of favorites and I'll be completely honest with you. I do. Uh, it all depends on time. It also depends on how much I want to spend that day on cigars. It depends on what I had to eat that day. What am I drinking? It's a big, varied pool of different cigars that I would want given the selected time and day. And, it's very difficult to sometimes put your finger on exactly what you would like to have for a specified time. So I hate trying to put this in a video because, you know, I'll tell you today that this is my favorite, one of my favorite. This is definitely my favorite all around cigar for price point. I can't find another cigar that can compete with price point on this at that 12, 11 to 13 mark. It's very rare that I find a cigar that's always available, consistent all the time at that price point, and you're getting a bang for your buck. Like I just haven't found another cigar that can match up with it. Even the Liga Privada lineup, which are very similar because the blending is very similar. The Liga Privadas are much more expensive these days. I mean, we're looking at some of the number nines are pushing 17, 18 bucks. And I will say this. I would say this is an excellent rival for that number nine. Both of them are delicious cigars, and both of them are extremely great smokes. But you're talking about 12 versus $17, 16, $17 cigar. I don't think it's going to be much discussion. I'm going to take that 12 in the Tabernacle over that. I just got to keep it. I got to keep it a buck on that one. What I love is, dang, oh, that's a fly. I'm like, dang, what's making all that noise? I just got to keep it a buck with that. Is man, this is a good cigar, and it's consistently been a good cigar. And I put so many people on this cigar because I really believe in this tabernacle, man. And I've had friends who were nervous and scared to touch it because of the color. It felt like it was going to really knock their head off. But I was like, nah, it's balanced as a medium plus cigar. I think it's a very balanced cigar as well, and I think it's very approachable if you've smoked cigars, in your past. I wouldn't give this to, a brand new novice smoker, but I would definitely give it to somebody who's been smoking cigars for a while and they just haven't touched it yet.